Hello. This week I'm building another army. I haven't got round to this one yet, but as you know, I'm planning to kind of focus most of my battles around the Normandy area and obviously D-Day itself. So it was time for me to invest in some US infantry. And I've had this now for possibly 2 years. A couple of Christmases ago, one of the kids obviously got me it, and it's been on the pile waiting to be done, and finally I'm getting there to it as I work my way through things. Now what I've got is obviously the box of 30 troops, but then I've also got, and I think I must have picked this up, I don't know, probably in a shop somewhere. It's been partly started, so it's not complete, a sprue, but it has got 4 soldiers on there that I can build up. So I've got that, I've got that. I've got an MMG team here. And then the thing that's not present at the moment, but you'll see it, I'll phase it in as soon as it arrives. I've got another couple of box sets. One has got, I think it's got a flamethrower, another MMG, and I think probably a forward observation. And then I've got another one that's got a mortar in it. A few other little bits like that really, but they should be with me soon, because when I recently sold off some of my models, I had a bit more money to get, you know, the things that are outstanding. So anyway, I'll feed them in. You'll see them during the course of the video, because they're imminent arrival. But first of all, we'll open up this box and see what we've got inside. I mean, I know if you're watching my videos, then you're probably more than familiar with what's inside these boxes, right down to the thank you label from the staff at Warlord. But I never cease to be excited all the same when I open a new box. Shortly followed by a, oh no, not only have I got to build them, I've got to paint them. But it's rewarding when you're doing it. Right, let's have a look. That's everything. Just have a quick look at the box. Looking some interesting poses there. And as usual, I'll probably be looking to adapt a few to, you know, so they can look a bit more different. One thing I have noticed with these, just put them bases to one side, the transfers, looking forward to getting to that stage. If you look at this one, look, Army Infantry, so that's the sprues that are in here, they're all just duplicates of this. But if you compare this to the one that I must have picked up in a shop or whatever that had been started, I'm presuming it's a slightly earlier version, because I notice none of the arms are holding the weapons. So I'm guessing that that was perhaps an earlier version of these. But nonetheless, they'll fit in well. And I haven't got a problem with putting arms and weapons together anyway, so. But at least it will give me another couple of poses that will be slightly different. But anyway, there's what we got on here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, 5 sprues of 6 then, and that's your 30. And as usual, I'll be probably building these up as initially 8-man squads, but I always leave it so I can always boost it up to 10, you know, for different battles. So, right. Let me crack on and get a few of these done, and then I'll pull you back and we can have a look at my progress. Right, well, I've plugged on. As you can see, I've got a couple of squads and I've just started the third one. But it's been a bit of a slow old session, really, building these, because I can't really remember, you know, when I built all the earlier ones. It's so long ago, you forget the pain, don't you, of, you know, some of what you have to do. But comparing them to, I think, the Fallschirmjägers that I made quite recently, these have been a bit of a pain, to be honest. And I thought they'd probably be the easiest, but they seem to have, well, unless I'm unlucky, they seem to have an awful lot of mould lines and stuff on them. You know, it's kind of in between the legs, up the legs, down the shoulders, on the back. It's everywhere. You know, they've been quite hard work, really. As I say, I don't remember, you know, because I've made quite a few forces now. Obviously, I've made the British Airborne, the American Airborne, German Grenadiers, German Waffen SS, and like I say, the Fallschirmjägers. But some of those I don't remember, you know, just how much filing. I mean, you always have to do some, and you expect to. But these seem quite heavy going, to be honest. And although then there's not a lot to these mould lines, but boy, do they show up when you apply the paint. Now, I know I'm not the best painter in the world and everything, but I want to give myself at least an even chance of getting a nice finish. And to be honest, I couldn't have left these the way they are. I really have had to, you know, smooth them down quite a lot. So I've took my time with them, is what I'm trying to say. The other thing that I'd probably point out, but this is not something, it is something that I've done plenty of times before, because my eyes aren't the greatest, you know, if you're playing on a table and everything, I like to be able to see, you know, what I'm moving without having to like pick it up and have a good look at it. So I do tend to put some little signals for myself that help me to distinguish, you know, different troops from each other. And what I've gone for on this occasion is all of the normal troops in the squad. I'm going to bring it as close as I can. Can you see that he's got the web over the helmet? So I've gone with that on all of the actual troops. And then when it comes to the NCO, just so I know which one's my NCO, I've gone for the smooth helmet type. So at a glance then I can see my NCOs and know which one's which. And the other thing is, obviously, just to distinguish them, I've put a pistol on my NCOs. Not pistol, holster with a pistol in it. And that's just to give me a quick signal, you know, without having to scrutinise them. I can see it at a glance. You know, any young people watching this probably think, well, I can see them anyway, but unfortunately, my eyes are not that great. So that's just something I do with my armies. I do tend to distinguish their helmets and use it that way. I have tried to incorporate as many different poses as I can. I have done some slight alterations. I'm sorry I didn't bring you back to see some of those, because like I say, with all the sanding down and filing I've had to do, it was a bit, you know, just cracked on with it. But what I've also done is, I showed you I'd got these, I believe is an older sprue where you have to place the weapons, you know, whereas the new ones, there's an arm moulded with the weapon in it already. I wanted to use them up, so I've actually used those so far. I'm not going to be able to do it throughout, but I've used them for my NCOs and my first or second lieutenant here. I've got one more to use, so he'll probably be the NCO for this third squad I'm working on. And basically that's where I'm at the moment. I've still got, as you can see, quite a few to go, so hopefully I can get the 4 squads built up, and by the time I've done my 4 squads of 8, hopefully the other bits will have arrived and I can start to phase them in. And as I say, I've got an extra sprue coming as well. Right, I'll crack on with these, and I'll bring you back when there's something interesting to talk about. Right, so I thought I'd take a look now at my MMG. So let's get this open. Thank you, Becky. As I've said before, I tend to keep these for windows and things. Let's have a look at these figures. A little bit of flash on it, but not a lot. He looks acceptable as he is. I won't be doing any alterations on that one. Same with that chap really, he's pretty good as well. Let's take these off. There's only a few little bits on it really. These are pretty good actually. There we go. Right, and then all these little bits of metal that are over. If anybody's been watching me for a while, you'll know that I don't throw them away. I've got this little box. I keep it all in there, look. And then every now and again I can smelt it down and make something with it. I've used it for a variety of things really. I've smelted it down into little round weights for things, like when I built the glider. I used it for the weights in the front of the plane. I've used it to give a bit of weight to some of the vehicles. I might try something a bit more imaginative when I've built it up a bit more and actually cast a bit of scenery or something. But that's where I keep it for. Right, let's get the super glue for this one. Right, got the stubborn top off. I think this is probably one of the better metal kits that I've done. You know, it seems relatively simple. You know, some of them can be a bit stubborn to put together. Let's have a look how you sit. Just going to put that down and then speed it up a bit. There we go. Right, just need to get his head in place now. Looks a very long neck. Is that going to sit in there like that? It sure does. Right, put a bit of glue down there. There we go. There he is. Yep, it's looking right now. So that's the 2 figures on the 30 caliber gun, and obviously you've got the 3rd figure, which is carrying extra ammo, and presumably he'd look out for them. Not like a spotter as such, but I think a good thing to do would be to probably base this separately, you know, for like in-game. If you get, you know, if you lose any figures, it makes it easier to deduct that one. So I'm going to put him on a separate base. But what I am going to do, again, it's just something I want to do. I would imagine that he would also help, you know, point out targets to them. And being as I've got some spare little bits, I've whether you can see them, I've cut this tiny pair of binoculars that I'm going to hang round his neck. And what I'm going to use is, I've got a tiny bit of wire here. That there. And what I'm going to try and do is fashion that to wire it up as the strap on his binoculars. There's absolutely no need for this, it's just something I fancy doing to make him look a little bit different. Let's get these preparatory snips to hold it with. Bend them into position. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stick the binoculars between the 2 ends of the wire. Right. Sorry about it being a bit of a long-winded process, but hopefully you can see it now. So you can see the strap around the back of his neck. It attaches to the binoculars. Alright, let's get him based up. How to make things difficult, part 1. Just put him on the base there for now, but you don't need to be on there. And that's me team. As I say, I just like to individualise some of mine. Just, I don't know, just for fun really. Right, I better get back to the rest of the army now, and I'll bring you back. Right, so some of the extra men and things that I've ordered have come. So I've plugged on, and basically what I've got here at the moment is I've got 2 bazooka teams, an MMG team, Now, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squads. The other things that have come are these 2 box sets. So I've got the US Army support group, and in that one it's saying I've got 2 officers, 1 medic, 1 radio operator stroke spotter, 1 medium mortar team, another MMG team, and then obviously the bases. And then I've got this little one, US Army weapons teams. Now, the reason why I wanted this is because I want to make up one of the groups, at least, into being like an engineer group. And so I thought they could do with this, the flamethrower chap that comes in this group. The other thing that comes in the group is a light mortar. I wasn't sure that I wanted that, but hey-ho, I'm going to build it up. It gives me a bit more flexibility. And then there's a sniper squad, which I was going to make myself, so that's saving me the bother. And apparently, this one's got some free dice in it. So, looking good. So let's just open up this little one first. Have a look what we've got inside. See what they're like. Are these like, are these like the new, they were on about they'd switched over to a different kind of resin for the metal squads, because these ain't metal. Let's have a look. It's probably familiar to the rest of you, but I've only, you know, because I built most of my squads up before that came out. I haven't seen these. Well, there's me 3 dice. That's handy. Oh. Yeah. They look pretty good. They look better than the metal ones. Oh, I like that. Look at the detail on it, it's pretty good. Look at the detail on that one. That looks really good, I like that. Yeah, I haven't seen these before. Certainly better than some of the metal ones have been, that's for sure. Not sure about that one, he's got a bit of a thin head. So I've got, oh, he's the sniper, isn't he? Yeah. Very good. Let's pan back a bit so you can see me opening this one. Now these ones are metal. Thanks, Vaz. Right, let me get these built up then, and then I'll bring you back. Right, so as you can see, I've been fairly busy. I've made up all the metal squads now and all the little twosome squads that there are. Basically, I'll just talk you through what I've got so far. So I've got 2 bazooka teams. This one, it calls it a radio or spotter, radio stroke spotter set. Possibly could use them as a observation team or something like that. I'll just go along the front because it's easier. I've got the medium mortar team. Then I've got a light mortar team. I've got my lieutenant, first or second, and his 2 supporters. I've got this medic. The team next to him is the sniper team. Then I've used another one of the metal figures as potentially, you know, higher rank, say a major or captain or whatever, again with 2 supporting men. And then I've got 2 MMG teams. Now the 4 squads that I've got so far, each squad has got 2 bars. So going back to this first squad, you've got the 2 bars, and then the other 8 figures, including the NCO, are all riflemen. Same on this squad. You've got 2 bars, and then 8 riflemen, including the NCO. This one's a bit different. You've got the 2 bars, then you've got 4 riflemen, and then you've got 4 submachine guns. And then this same on this one, 2 bars, 4 riflemen, and then you've got the 4 submachine guns. Now I've got here a flamethrower team, but what I'm looking to do next is build up a US infantry engineers team, and to do that, basically I want them to carry things that engineers would have, so they look different from the rest of the squads. The obvious thing is that they'd be carrying Bangalores. Now, the only way I could come up with Bangalores at the time, well, I've got two routes that I've gone. One, I bought a second-hand box of Rangers, which I'm going to rob various parts from, and so that gives me 2 arms carrying Bangalores. Now, the other thing that I've got is this little set that I bought from a company called Anvil. They're probably going to be having modded slightly because I think these are for their figures. But these are carrying various engineer type tools. So you've got a hand carrying some dynamite, perhaps to blow open a bunker. I think there's several carrying Bangalores, some wire cutters, and I think there's a flare gun as well. So I might utilise some of them. And then I also had a go at making some Bangalores with my green stuff, but I think I'm probably going to have enough now anyway, but I just wanted to do that as a test piece. So basically I'm going to try and cobble together now a US infantry engineer squad. But then the other thing that I want to do is I don't want to waste my Rangers, you know, just because I've robbed a few bits from them. So what I might end up doing as another little element is just build up a couple of squads of Rangers that I can use, you know, to fight alongside the infantry or on their own missions. So that's something I'm going to come back to though. First of all, I want to focus on the engineers. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to chop around with some different parts, and then I'll bring you back to show you what I've put together for my infantry engineer team. So I've made up my engineer squad, which is going to be the 5th squad, and using all the bits that I showed you, I'm going to use this flamethrower team as 2 of the men, because he's carrying a rifle anyway, the second one. So they'll be in the squad. I've got just an ordinary bar. So I'll put him at the back. I've got this chap that I've used the hand carrying dynamite, so he could be, you know, like one to represent blowing a door on a bunker or something. So I put him there. Then I put the flamethrower set in as the 4th man. So what you've got then is a bar and 2 rifles and a flamethrower. And then I've got 2 different variants of the chaps carrying the Bangalores. I've got this one that I used the stuff from, I can't remember the name of the company now, but Aztec, I think, or something. Is it Aztec? I don't know. Anyway, I've used that one for him. And then I've used the bandolier metal arm from my Rangers set that, you know, that I've been robbing bits from. So that's the second bandolier. And then what I've done, I've used a metal head on this one to keep it all consistent with the webbed helmets. And he's got, I don't know whether you can see them, some wire cutters. You know, so you can cut the cables or cut the barbed wire and get through. And he's got a submachine gun. Same with this chap. Only difference being he's no, I don't think, have I made it different? No, yeah, the only difference is he's not got a metal head on this one. That's it. But that's another one for wire cutting. And then the final two in the team, all I've done is put some engineer kit on it, on the back of him, to make him look a little bit more like an engineer. And then the machine gun. And then this is the NCO. And again, he's just got a bit of equipment from the Rangers box to make him look more like the engineer leader. So that's it. So that's it complete, really. Well, if only. I've got all the painting to do next. But anyway, that's going to come at some later point in time. At least I've got these built, so I've started the process. But this is going to be my US Army that I'm going to use throughout any battles in the Bocage area, or breaking out from the beach, or the beach landing itself. These will be the ones that I'm going to be using for that. As you know, I did rob a few bits from my second-hand box of Rangers. Again, what I might do with that, I don't know whether I said, is I might just put together a couple of squads, or perhaps, you know, 2-3 squads of Rangers that I can use to mix things up if I need to, or for some other different scenario. But that's going to have to be for another video now. But this is the Americans done. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this one up now, and hope you found it interesting. Hopefully it's inspired you to get back on with making some troops. I must admit I've put it off for a long while, because, you know, when you start the process of building them and all the painting of them, you start to ache to want to make terrain again. So I've probably done the wrong thing, you know, getting so many armies ready, because it's going to take an age to get them all painted and dressed and everything. But hey ho, we'll get there. At least we've started the process. That's what I'm telling myself anyway. Anyway, thanks again for watching. If you have enjoyed it, you know, please give me a thumbs up. And, you know, if you're watching it for the first time, please consider subscribing. And if you've got any comments or anything, you know, drop them below. I always answer, as you know. And yeah, I'm just rambling now, so I'll see you again soon. Bye.